Hi everyone, and welcome to our 79th episode of Brew Talk with Mr. Beer. My name is Robert Lewis. I will be your host for this week's show. As always, we appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in and watch us talk about some brewing topics. I hope you guys enjoyed the last 2 weeks. We did kind of part of our advanced education series with Ashley came on to drop some serious brewing knowledge. If you haven't watched those, you can find them on our blog page, mrbeer.com/blog, on our YouTube page, or if you feel like scrolling back through our Facebook or Instagram feed, you can find them on there as well. But I think probably the blog and YouTube would be the best, preferably the blog because it has the notes. So the notes that Ashley was referencing and some diagrams and some stuff like that can all be found on mrbeer.com/blog, which is where we post the notes for all of our videos. So if you want to go back and read anything that we've talked about or reference something without watching the video, it's a great place to do that. I got a very quick topic for you guys, probably going to take me 2 to 3 minutes to run through, but getting a lot of new brewers, and it's a question you get quite often. Do you need to rinse your fermenter and your bottles after they're sanitized? I think for first-time brewers, it's a very common question. I think the term sanitization can imply that it's dangerous or harmful, or it can just hurt you in some way. Before we get too far along here in this short episode, though, I do want to say that you don't want to just mix up a solution of sanitizer and drink it, because that is harmful. That's not something that you want to do. We're just talking about like the little bit that gets left in your bottles or your fermenter after you sanitize it. I'm sure you've noticed it there. You dump it all out, but there's a little bit in there, and maybe a couple times you're like, oh, maybe I should rinse that out, but you don't want to do that. So, once you sanitize everything up, you mix it, and then if you go to rinse it adding tap water at this time, what that can do is that can open the risk of getting an infection in your batch of beer, because what you have basically is kind of a sanitized environment, not sterile, but basically the sanitizer, like our no-rinse cleanser, or something like Star San, what it does is it turns into a type of hydrogen peroxide and kills all the bacteria that are on the surface of the equipment that you're using. So for example, your fermenter, you mix it up in there, you shake it around really good, everything that's on the inside surface of that fermenter, any harmful bacteria that could infect your beer will die. If you rinse that with tap water, you run the risk of introducing those back into the beer. Now most people have good tap water or clean water. It's just, you can do it, but it's not something we recommend, because it just opens another risk for infection. So you don't need to rinse anything. So if you're using any brewing sanitizer, and there's a couple out there, the ones obviously are Mr.Beer No Rinse Cleanser or Star San are the ones that we recommend. You don't need to rinse after you sanitize with those. Just dump it all out. Whatever's little bit is sitting in there is totally fine. Now, if you're sanitizing your equipment with something that is not a brewing sanitizer, for example, we did a whole video about what to do when you run out of sanitizer. I think we did it last year. So some things to talk about using like bleach and OxyClean Free and Clear. Those you want to rinse out, because those are harmful, and those will kill everything that's in there. And plus you don't want that kind of odor getting into your beer, especially the bleach. So what you want to do, like we mentioned with those, is you want to rinse them until the smell is gone. The OxyClean Free and Clear, you can maybe get away without rinsing it, but we recommended rinsing it just because it's better to be safe than sorry with that stuff. But if you truly want to be effective in your sanitizing practices, you want to use a brewing sanitizer such as our Mr.Beer No Rinse Cleanser or Star San. So to recap, you do not need to rinse your fermenter or your bottles after you sanitize them. It's good to go. Don't worry about it. It's going to wrap it up. I told you guys it was a quick video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to at least like it. We really appreciate that. The likes really help and help more people see it. Share our sometimes quick or sometimes long knowledge with you. Comments are also the best. If you want to go above and beyond, a like, comment, and share would be widely appreciated. We put out content on all of our social media platforms, so make sure you're just searching for us at Mr. Beer. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube where we put out content. We don't do too much with the other platforms, but we are there. Also, if you want to learn more about Mr. Beer or just brewing with Mr. Beer, join our Facebook group, Mr. Beer's Brewing Society. We ask you to answer 3 questions. We'll let you in. We let people in like once or twice a week. We limit in batches. I think it's like 1,700 people or something crazy. It's growing a lot faster than I anticipated when we created it last year, which is really cool. And I love seeing all your guys' brewing pictures and all that stuff like that. If you haven't been over to the website, recently, check it out. We got some new recipes, did some new clones. I'll have some new recipes also coming out sometime in November, which we're pretty excited about. So it's going to wrap it up for this week. Like I said, it was a quick, short episode for you. Hope you guys learned something, especially the new brewers, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers.